So, do you think that old people and young people enjoy the same types of social activities, or is there a difference between what they like?
Maybe there are different between what they like. Young people like to travel more, to stay with a lot of people, to play sport or to play computer games. Old people prefer to read, to stay alone more, to listen to music, maybe to do volunteer work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always tough to make generalizations, right? Because people are unique, but I think you were very accurate in that assessment. I think young people are a little more willing to go out and try new things and meet new people. That includes like traveling. And maybe older people like to do more things with people they know, right? Like their family or their friends, and maybe they don't have as much energy to do the activities like play sports and things like
Yeah,
that. So I think that's a good observation and an accurate one. And we already kind of talked about this. Definitely sounds like social activities like the gym and shopping with your mom. These
yeah,
things are important to you. So
yeah.
we'll move on to the next slide. Um, do you think modern lifestyles give people enough leisure time to spend with others?
I think not for all people. Uh, some people can spend leisure time with others and interested in this, feel interested in this time. But poor people don't have the chance to spend leisure time with others because everything is changed nowadays. Some people prefer to go to expensive places. Others prefer to go to the beach and interested in their time. So it depends um, uh, um, on everyone's choices.
Yeah, it's another one, right? Where it really depends. Technology has really changed our modern lifestyles, right? The ability to work from your computer at home or even on the go. So for some people that gives them more time, right? Because they don't have to commute to an office. They can just close their computer and be done with work for the day. But for other people, now it's like even after they get home from work, they can keep working, or even on vacation, they can work. So
Yeah,
technology and modern lifestyles can make it easier to work
yeah,
from anywhere and have more time, or it can make it easier to work and take away your free time. So it really does depend.
yeah.
Yeah. So what about in your country? Do you think most people, value these social activities or?
Yeah. People here prefer to spend their time together to offer help to each other. If there someone has a problem, most people try to help them, to offer help to them. Yes, I think people here give social activity a real value.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I hear from most of my students in the Arabic world, is that family is very important, and that there's a lot of events that bring immediate and extended family together. So
Yeah,
I hear that from a lot of people in the
yeah.
Middle East and in that part of the world.
Yeah, even our parents, when they become older, they live with their children. We don't leave them to live alone. And if they want to live alone, we should visit them every day, ask them if they need anything, to help them, to offer help, and to offer help to them. Family, is very important in Arab countries.
Yeah, that's another good point. Families living together, in America, and this is kind of changing. Um, but I'm 40, well, almost 40, and 22 years ago when I turned 18, I mean, I immediately moved out. Like that used to be common. Now kids or young adults are staying at home longer. But
yeah,
it used to be that as soon as you turned 18, people moved out. And yeah, when parents got older, maybe what you did was you hired someone to live with them and take care of them, or maybe they went to live in a special place where there were nurses and people. But now America is becoming a little different, and people are living at home longer, and people, are having their parents move in with them, which I
yeah,
hear a lot of that. A lot of my, again, students in Saudi Arabia or
mhm,
Syria or Kuwait or Iraq or Turkey, all of these countries where I have a lot of students. A lot of them would live with their families either because they're young and they're still living with their families, or because their parents are at an age where they moved in with them. Seems
yeah,
very, very common there.
yeah,
All right. And so, one last discussion slide here. So, some people would argue that computers will make people more isolated and decrease their social skills. But other people argue that technology will create more social activities. Which opinion do you agree with?
maybe it's depends on the person himself. Some people can use the technology to get know new people. Technology for them it's a good chance to know about other culture, about other societies, to make new friends from different countries. And some people, like especially young people, prefer to play social games, to chat with the people, maybe those people fake, not real people give, like I said, they give fake information about themselves. So when they stay alone for long hours without speaking or chatting with the real people, or meet new people, or go out, they live in isolated place. So it's depends on the person himself or herself.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of these questions and discussions. It depends, right? As somebody who travels and lives far away from their family, um, technology helps me stay in touch with them in a way that wasn't possible 20 years ago. I can FaceTime, my mom and talk to her. On Instagram, I can keep in touch with my brothers by sending each other funny videos, and just chat really easy through text. So for me, I'm able to kind of keep in touch. Um, but you're right. Now maybe sometimes people spend more time at home with these. Speaking through. I'm trying to think of the what do you guys use? What's the app? Telegram, right?
Yeah,
Where I live, it's WhatsApp, and in Asia, it's Line or WeChat. But where you live, it's Telegram, right? So nowadays we can kind of rely on technology to keep in touch with people, and maybe we don't go out into the real world and have
mm,
coffee as much or go shopping as much. So I think it's important for us to find a balance there and use the technology to help us in
yeah,
ways when we otherwise couldn't be in touch,
yeah.
but still have that real life connection too, and not rely on technology too much.
Yeah, technology has a lot of positive things, and sometimes has negative things. If I want to use technology for positive things, I can, and if I want to use technology for negative things, also I can. Everyone can choose which thing they need, which thing they want to do.
Yeah, yeah. And so just being thoughtful and mindful about it, being aware that there are pros and cons, positives and negatives, can maybe help you achieve that balance, right? So focusing on the positives and avoiding the negatives, hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah, good discussion. All right, so here we have one of the role plays,
yeah,
right? So in this role play, one of your friends has recently started spending almost all of their time online. I don't know if you've ever had that happen, but I have. One of my best friends growing up, he really got into an online game, And for years, I mean, really for years, he spent a lot of time every day just playing that game. So in this role play, you're in a situation like that, right? Your friend isn't coming to get-togethers. They're just not being as social as they used to, right? So if you were to talk to that friend, what kind of discussion would you have? What kind of things would you tell them or ask them?
Yeah, I will tell them this just a waste of time. He should or he should she should look at herself. What she has done through the these years he spends on just playing computer games. Maybe they couldn't develop themselves. They couldn't do anything good things for their community or for them or for themselves. I will try to help them to get rid of this habit to go out. Maybe I will try to invite them to the gym. I will try to introduce them to a new friends um, or do many different types of activities or kind of activities together.
Yeah, yeah, I like those suggestions. It's I think it can almost be like an addiction, for some people when they, get into these technologies and, they make online friends and they're playing video games. So, maybe reminding them, like, do you remember when we used to play sports together? How much fun we had? Do you remember when we used to see movies and, talk about our future and our goals? And maybe ask them, how are your goals going? Are you still on a path to have that future that you always wanted?
Yeah,
Sometimes when you tell people what to do, they get defensive, right? So
yeah,
sometimes just asking people questions and letting them think about it for themselves and maybe realize they miss going to the gym with you or they miss playing tennis with you. They miss, you can get them to maybe start doing those things again. And as they do, hopefully they can break that addiction to the technology.
yes. In this situation, there is a real question. I should ask him, what did you do for your future, to build your future? And if he can answer, if he can get rid of this habit, I will advise him to go to the doctor. Maybe doctor can help him to leave playing computer games or to be more social or more active
Yeah,
with others.
I think that's a good idea too, right? I mean, maybe there's a bigger reason why this person is behaving this way, right? Maybe they're depressed. Maybe something really bad happened to them. Um, so maybe they need to see a doctor who could, whether it's for therapy or maybe medication. Maybe there's a deeper reason why this is happening, and maybe they need some more professional help to change their behaviors.
Yeah,
When I look at my friend, I told you my friend went something through something like this. I think that might have been the case. He had gotten an injury, and that injury I think made it harder for him to be as active. And so maybe he was depressed about his potential future or things like that. So again, maybe a doctor could have helped him get some medication or some therapy or something. Um, maybe that would have been a good solution. I don't know.
maybe in this case, family play a good role in this situation. Family should help their children or any member of the family when they see them just staying alone. They should try to help them and
Yeah.
give them any advice that help them.
I agree. I agree. Family is super important. And with my friend, that might have also been part of the issue. Some very bad things had been happening with his brother, with his sister, with his parents. Again, he had a lot of trauma in his life and reasons to be depressed. But it made me sad. I didn't feel like there was much I could do, just as his friend. I wish that his family would have been maybe a little more active in his life to help him too. Things could have gone better.
Yeah.
But oh, that's depressing. Why are we talking about that? This was actually, I think, a really good class, talking about some of the ways technology has changed our lives and how
Yeah.
important these social activities are. So thanks again for participating and having such good discussion in today's class.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah,
See you.
absolutely. Yeah, see you again. See you next time. You take care.
Goodbye.
All right, goodbye.